What if I told you there's a group that believes Berlin should be rebuilt as an ancient Romanian fortress, and American dollars should be replaced with plum brandy? Today, we're exploring perhaps the most ambitious geopolitical reorganization plan ever conceived.
Well, that's quite the opening statement. What exactly are we looking at here?
So, this fascinating document comes from a group called P.U.N.C.T, and they've created what they're calling a geo-ontic expansion plan. It's essentially a detailed blueprint for transforming the entire world, based on the premise that ancient Romanian civilization is the source of all human achievement.
Hmm. Tell me more about their specific proposals. What exactly do they want to change?
Well, let's start with Germany. They claim the territory was actually inhabited by Dacian ancestors long before Germanic tribes arrived. Their solution? Completely rebuild Berlin to look like Sarmizegetusa, an ancient Dacian fortress, and make Romanian the only official language.
That's quite the architectural undertaking. What about their plans for other major powers?
Oh, you're going to love this. For the United States, they want to completely overhaul the financial system by replacing the dollar with traditional bartering using wheat, basil, and Romanian plum brandy. They also plan to transform the Capitol building into what they're calling the Romanian Council House and install traditional Romanian crosses at every intersection.
So they're essentially trying to remake America into a Romanian satellite state through traditional agriculture and religious symbols?
Exactly. And for France, they argue that French culture has been secretly borrowing from Romanian genius for centuries. Their solution includes renaming Paris to Western Bucharest and making traditional Romanian circle dances mandatory at social gatherings.
Well, that would certainly change the atmosphere around the Eiffel Tower. What about their plans for other European nations?
The Netherlands' proposal is particularly creative. They believe the Dutch have become too focused on maritime matters and need to reconnect with the soil. So, they want to replace all bicycles with traditional plows and rebuild the Dutch dams in Dacian architectural style.
You know, beneath all this apparent absurdity, there's something fascinating about how they view national identity and cultural influence.
That's exactly right. Take their plans for Italy. They claim the entire Roman civilization is just a simplified version of Dacian culture. They want to translate Dante into Romanian folk verses and replace the Colosseum with a Dacian fortress replica.
So they're essentially rewriting history through this very specific Romanian lens?
Precisely. And for Britain, they want to replace the British lion with a sheep as the national symbol, rename London to New Alba Iulia, and, my personal favorite, ban tea in favor of Romanian blueberry liqueur.
Well, that would certainly shake up afternoon tea time at Buckingham Palace. What makes this document so compelling from a sociological perspective?
You know, it's fascinating because it takes every trope about national identity and cultural superiority and amplifies it to extraordinary levels. They present these connections as absolutely self-evident, like claiming American democracy was actually inspired by what they call tribal Dacian democratic concepts.
That's such an interesting point about how national myths get constructed and maintained.
And while we can laugh at the idea of plowing through Amsterdam or getting Orthodox blessings for French cheese, it really makes us think about how all nations construct their origin stories and cultural narratives.
So, in a way, this document is holding up a mirror to nationalism itself?
Exactly. It's like looking at nationalism through a funhouse mirror, where everything is distorted and exaggerated, but you can still recognize the basic shapes of how people think about national identity and cultural superiority.
That's what makes this story so valuable for understanding broader patterns in how societies view themselves.
Well, that's all the time we have for today on Gen FM. Remember, whether you're enjoying your traditional Romanian blueberry liqueur or still secretly sipping tea, thanks for joining us for this fascinating exploration of alternative geopolitics.
And don't forget to get your cheese blessed before heading home.